everybody? Today I have my VTuber Oshi, Gazer being 2K, the absolute best Pokemon TCG player in the world. Gazer, would you like to introduce yourself?
First of all, I am mediocre at best at Pokemon cards.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep playing them. I need to stop, but here I am.
I see you everywhere. Everybody tells me that you're like the best player ever. I'm such a fan.
No, I'm just a funny guy. I'm a chill guy. I'm a funny guy. I'm a fun guy. But no, I'm not good at Pokemon cards. Nah.
What do you mean? You just got a cup win not too long ago.
I did get a cup win last week. 30-person cup. It was a tough one, but it was a fluke.
Anyways, Gazer, today I am gonna be showing you some One Piece TCG cards. I have been playing a lot of One Piece TCG. It has been probably just one of the most fun TCGs I've gotten to play. And I just wanted to ask, have you seen One Piece? Have you played the game? Do you know anything about like the card game?
Okay, so you tell me that we're gonna be looking at old arts of Pokemon cards, so you already misled me on this.
Okay, I did not say that.
So I'm not sure what I signed up for now. You bamboozled me and tricked me. That's fine. But no, when it comes to One Piece, I haven't got into it. And I have not. My stepdaughter recently learned how to play, and she says it's fun. I know decks have leaders and stuff like that. I know it's a Bandai game, so I'm pretty sure Bandai's gonna just forget about it in a couple years.
I hope not. I think this is one of the more successful Bandai games. I mean, it's been getting a lot of traction recently. Where's
Digimon? Where's Union Arena? They have two different Dragon Ball games. Bandai, they'll just throw something to the wall.
There's two different ones?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Bandai just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks, and just again and again. And One Piece seems to be sticking, so.
It is. It's just been all the craze. The cards are crazy expensive. There's so many players. Like, it's been very, very popular, at least here in Atlantis. So, anyways, have you seen any of the One Piece anime?
No.
Not a single episode?
No, I know there's a monkey guy, and there's some dude named Zoro or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I know.
100%.
They're trying to find like a pirate treasure or something.
They're looking for the One Piece. Anyways, Gazer, I am going to be showing you 6 different cards today. So the way One Piece kind of works is, like you said, every single deck is revolved around a singular leader. That leader does not die. It's not like Pokemon where it gets KO'd and, you know, all of that. And it does actually share a similar mechanic to Pokemon, as in life. So life is like your prize cards, but the kicker is that if you take all of your life, you lose the game. As opposed to Pokemon, when you take all your prize cards, you win the game, right? It's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend you to try it out when you get the chance.
Those are more so like in the form of like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic. What is?
I've been told this, and I could be 100% wrong, but this game is like a mix of Magic and Pokemon almost, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you some different cards today, and I'm gonna kind of explain what they are. So there's 4 different card variants, right? There is leaders, which is like the leader of your deck.
Okay.
There's characters. There is stages, which is like the equivalent to stadiums in Pokemon.
Okay.
And then there's event cards, which you can kind of look at them as item cards.
Okay.
In Pokemon. So I'm gonna show you the very first card. This card is called Moby Dick. It is a stage card.
Okay.
This is a stage card. So this is like a stadium. So if you look at the top, there is a number. That is the cost to play this card. So I don't know if you played other card games that have had like mana, but basically you need to use 2 Dawn, which is what they call it, like energy almost, right? To play this card. So this card says, during your turn, if you have 1 or less life cards, your Edward Newgate, which is your leader, and all of your characters with the type including Whitebeard Pirates, so that is a trait that you'll see at the bottom of the card, gains 2,000 power. So basically everything on your board gets 2,000 power during your turn. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, we're just jumping into this right off the back. Moby Dick.
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you have 1 or less life cards, you want to keep your life though, right?
Yes, you can.
So if I only have 1 or less life cards left, does that mean I've lost the game? I'm losing the game? What's going on here?
Once you hit 0 life cards and your opponent tries to hit you and you cannot take any more life, that is when you lose the game.
So this is like a do or die, Hail Mary, last minute kind of card.
Yes, this card is when you are losing the game or running low on life, this is what you want to play to make sure that all of your characters basically have more attack power, yes.
And all my Whitebeard Pirates, and I heard of Whitebeard. I know Whitebeard.
Yes.
they gain 2,000 more power. I'm a Pokemon kind of guy. So is this the equivalent of like Iono, Roxanne, something last minute to try to counter catch her? What it is?
If I were to explain this in Pokemon terms,
oh boy.
Basically this is a stadium that gets put down that says if you are running low on like
I'm about to
if
lose
you
the
have
game.
more prize cards, your Pokemon do more damage.
Yeah, I followed that. I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to figure out if it's good or not. I don't know if Whitebeard's a good archetype or not. I'm gonna go on a limb though and say that this is a really good in Whitebeard decks. You know, it's a good way to come back and buff up your pirates so you don't lose the game, right?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
This card is banned.
Is it really?
Basically a plus 2k on everything on your board. And just to give you a little more context, there's not too many stages in the game.
Okay.
Not too many stadiums. So this almost never sees any sort of counterplay. So once your opponent puts this down, it's basically there for the rest of the game. It was so good that they just decided we're banning this card.
I figured it was good. I hate the fact that I'm losing the game, but plus 2k sounds pretty good. 2,000 sounds kind of good. So I was like, it's probably good.
It's very good.
It's good enough to get banned.
It's very,
so it's broken.
very
Okay,
good.
got it.
It is absolutely bonkers, which is why the Bandai was just like, we're not allowing this card in the game anymore. All right, are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's see it.
Speaking of Iono and Roxanne, we have our girl, Charlotte Pudding.
Oh my.
So her on-play effect is basically when she gets played, your opponent returns all of their cards to their hand, shuffles their deck, and then your opponent draws 5 cards.
Okay, first off, she has 3
What are your
eyes.
thoughts?
She has 3 eyes.
She does.
I didn't notice 3 eyes at first because I was looking at something else. But then, you know, then I noticed the eyes. I was like, whoa, never mind. So she has 4,000. Is that attack or what power? What do you call that?
4,000 power. So the way it works is that you can attack other units. And if they have the same power, you can hit them. If they have lower power, you can't hit them. If you have higher power, then they're gonna have to see. If you see at the side of the card, it says counter. You can discard cards from your hand that have counter to kind of add power.
Okay, but this card isn't played for its power. It's played for its on playability, correct?
It is played for its on playability, yes.
Okay. Your opponent returns all cards to their hand, to their deck, and shuffles their deck, then your opponent draws 5 cards. Now, when you say all cards, what do you mean by all cards?
Every single card in their hand goes back into the deck, and they shuffle it and draw 5. Basically like Roxanne or Judge in Pokemon.
I'm going to go on a limb and say this card is mid.
Is that your final answer?
I'm going mid, final answer.
This card is one of the only, if not the only, hand disruption in the entire game.
Oh.
It's very scary because there's some decks that like to search for cards, like to draw cards, right? If you get this played against you, it can change the entire game because there's no other card like it. So this card is pretty broken.
Okay.
But the only thing is, it's only played in blue decks.
Okay. I thought it would be good, but at the same time, I was like, you know, what if I want to, you know, shuffle and draw another 5? What if I like that? So I don't know. But yeah, okay. I can see. The only hand disruption.
Yeah, one of the only hand disruption, yes.
So you guys are out here playing with like 17 card hands, just chilling, just having a good time. Doing whatever you guys want to do. No,
yes.
No one's stopping anybody.
That is, no. Except if your opponent is playing blue.
They throw down some pudding and you're like, whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, my hand. Okay.
Yeah, it's just gone. It's just gone. You draw 5 and you're just like, oh my god, where's all my counter cards? Where's all my, you know, other character cards? This card is extremely brutal. I have lost so many games at locals just because this card was played against me.
You're like, cool, 5 cards, yay.
Yeah, 5
Sick.
cards. What am I gonna do with this?
Dope, I wanted 5 cards, yay.
Gazer, you are now 1 for 1.
Okay.
So are you ready for the third card?
Yeah, let's see it.
This next card is my boy Borsalino. So he is a 4-cost card. His effect says on your opponent's turn, this character gets plus 1,000 power and cannot be KO'd by effects. And he has a special trait on him called Blocker. So Blocker basically is what it says. It's a blocker. So if your opponent is swinging a big number at you, you can use blockers to kind of eat the damage, right?
Okay.
You can get rid of a blocker as opposed to like, you know, them trying to get rid of your character or swing at your life. What are your thoughts on Borsalino?
So he has 5,000 power. This character gains 1,000 power and cannot be KO'd by effects. That's only on my opponent's turn.
Only on your opponent's turn.
Can't be KO'd by effects. And then he has blocker. And I can make it the new target of one of my opponent's attacks. But I thought you said if my opponents have higher attack than one of mine, they can't attack.
Basically, they can attack you, but blockers have a special ability where when your opponent declares an attack, you can redirect that attack to a blocker. That's only a trait that blockers have.
So if they're trying to attack me with a 4,000 power character, I could say, no, Borsalino, I'm going to activate my blocker and just...
Yes.
That seems pretty good. The fact I can redirect an attack at will, almost. And the fact that he gets 6,000 power on my opponent's turn. That seems pretty good. Shot in the dark, I'm going to say it's good. Final answer.
This card, it's meh. It says it cannot get KO'd, right?
Mm-hmm. By effects.
By effects. However, it can get KO'd by attacks. There's also a mechanic in the game called trash. So trashing cards is another thing. This card can get trashed, and this card can get bounced. Basically, get sent back to your hand.
Okay.
And because he's a 4-cost, there's a lot of cards in the game that'll say like, oh, trash one of your opponent's 4-cost characters, and they can get rid of this right away. However, a lot of black color decks still play this card, but it's pretty meh. What do you mean by black? One Piece has colors, and you can only play cards that
okay, stop.
Your leader
stop
color
right
has.
Sorry, I got you. Stop right there. I see what kind of game this is. So you're trying to tell me that only the black cards can be in the black deck. Is that what's going on here?
Well, there are leader cards that are mixed. So there's black, green, yellow, black. I don't know, man. I'm just telling you how the game plays.
So in a black deck, this card is mid. It's meh. It's alright.
It's meh. There's other better options for blockers that cannot get like easily taken out of the game.
Okay.
But one of the decks I played
6,000 seem pretty good. I don't know.
It can be very good.
This is supposed to be like Pokemon art from like the year 2007. This is not what I agreed. This isn't. Oh wow.
I'll make you a deal. I promise the next video we record will be that.
Okay,
all right?
Perfect.
Next card. This one is Kaido and Linlin. It is a purple 10-cost card.
What am I looking at right now? What is happening? What is?
It's our friends Kaido and Linlin.
Which one's Kaido? Which one's Linlin?
Linlin is the lovely lady on the left.
That's a lady?
Kaido is our...
What goes on in this anime?
I guess you're just gonna have to watch, Gazer.
If I see Linlin, I don't want the One Piece anymore. I'm like, she can keep it. I don't... No. Kaido, sure, but Linlin looks... No.
That's the real statement. This is a 10-cost card.
Look at her eyes.
12,000 power.
Wait, I'm not over that. Look at her.
Wait.
I had to zoom in a little bit. Look at her eyes.
My gosh.
Her cheeks are... Look at her.
I'm sure she's a lovely lady. So this is a 10-cost card.
So I have to use 10 Dawn. How do I get Dawn, by the way?
10 Dawn. Every turn, you get 2 Dawn. So the person who goes first starts with 1 Dawn. The person who goes second starts with 2, and then every turn after that, each player gets 2 Dawn. The maximum amount of Dawn you can have is 10. So once you're at 10, that's it.
So by my 5th turn, if I win second, I could probably get Kaido and Linlin out.
Yes.
It's gonna cost all my Dawn though, so that's the only card I'll probably play for that turn.
It's a very high cost card, and if you look at its attack, right, its ability, it says when attacking, Dawn minus 10. So that means when it says Dawn minus a number, you have to send all of that Dawn back to your Dawn deck, and it says KO all characters other than this character, and then you add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards and trash 1 of your opponent's life cards.
Okay. So, but I lose all my Dawn, and I have to wait next turn, and then I get 2 more Dawn, and then I get 2 more Dawn.
Exactly.
Oh wow, that seems like a difficult ability to pull off, but the effect seems wild. I could see this being like a bit of a meme, like a bit of like, hey, this is a funny kind of thing. Hey, I got Kaido and Linlin going. Look at Linlin. Look at her. Check her out. And then someone plays that card, I probably just scoop right there. Like, hey, you got it. I don't want to see Linlin. You win. But no. This is either really broken or really hard to pull up. Look, I'm playing the Pokemon card game. There was a card, there's a mechanic called tag teams a few years back, where like 2 Pokemon would get together and they'd hang out, and one would hop on somebody's shoulder, and one would like, jump on the back of someone, and someone's like hitting it from behind or something like that. I don't know. There was one called Igglybuff, Cleffa, and...
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Igglybuff, Cleffa, and oh my gosh, the other little squishy Togepi. They had a wild attack that I think for like 2 energy did something like weak, but if you get like 14 energy on there, you basically wipe your opponent's whole board. Like you almost just win the whole game. But it was so ridiculous to pull off. It was just nothing but more than a meme. I'm gonna say that this is mid.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are actually correct. This is a pretty mid card. It has a really great ability, but you have to pay such a high cost. There are people who play it, and it's mainly because it's very flashy and it's very fun, but you're almost never gonna see this card in a competitive deck list. It's just such a high cost card. You're paying 10 Dawn, you're getting rid of them, so you're going back to 0. It's just not that great. There's other better options. So you are actually very correct.
Okay.
It's very flashy, but it's one of those cards. It's like, is it really worth being flashy when I could do so many other things with different other cards?
At locals, have you ever been hit with this before?
Thankfully not. I have dodged a lot of purple decks. Each color kind of has their specialty. So purple decks like to ramp up Dawn, which means they like to play cards that basically give them more Dawn, so that way they can get to 10 Dawn as fast as they can. As opposed to like yellow decks, they like to play with the life mechanic where they take their own life, but then they'll give themselves other abilities because they do that. So yeah, each color kind of has their own little specialty, which is what I really like about One Piece, because I feel like there's a play style for everybody. There's a leader for everybody. Okay. So
what I'm hearing is purple likes to go fast.
Purple is very fast.
Okay, and yellow likes to hurt themselves to...
Yes.
Okay, yellow's like it's the epitome of... this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you kind of thing. Gotcha. Yes.
Each color kind of has their own little specialty. So some people will main colors. Like for me, I main the green colors. So I like playing green decks as opposed to some people. Green does likes to rest cards on the board and freeze them. Basically, they cannot attack. They cannot stand back up. They can't really do anything.
So green likes the item lock, basically.
Yeah.
I like item lock.
Green is fun. It's a very fun color.
I like the item lock stuff in Pokemon.
It's green like our good old friend Badoo now. Yes. Are you ready for your second to last card?
Let's see it.
Speaking of green, it's our good old friend Roronoa Zoro. So he is a 9-cost card. And he has 2 abilities. His first ability, if you see the number that is kind of in the circle, that means you need to rest 1 of your Dawn to use it.
Okay.
The second ability says, you rest 2 Dawn, you set this character as active. Theoretically, right? You can play this guy down. So when you play down a character, do you know how summoning sickness works? So if you play it down, can't attack with it, right? Kind of like Pokemon. You play it down, you can't evolve it. The next turn, he can technically, if you can, attack 3 times. And he is a 9,000 power.
Wait, I'm catching 2 times. Wait, 3 times. Hold on.
So you can attack once, pay the 1 Dawn from the first attack, or first ability, stand him up again, attack. Pay the 2 Dawn for the next ability, stand him up again, and attack. So he can attack up to 3 times for 9,000 power. Just to give you context, that's pretty high.
I mean, Linlin was 12, so...
That is very true. And the thing about what's special about Dawn as well, you can attach them to characters, and for every Dawn you attach, it gives them plus 1,000 power. You can attach 7 Dawn to this guy, swing for what, 16,000? Pay 1 more Dawn, swing for another 16,000, pay 2 more Dawn, swing for another 16,000.
You know what, Sai? I'm gonna say this is good.
This is a good card. You are correct. It's a high cost to play, but it is a huge threat. Like, opponents want to get this off the board because they're just like, I can't handle 3 big swings from this guy. So you are correct. This is a great card to play. It is quite expensive now.
Is it really? How much?
It's about $26 to $28 a copy.
How many copies can you play in your deck?
Up to 4, but most people will play 1 to 2 of him, maybe 3 if like they really want to be aggressive. But this is a very scary card.
Can I equate this to
yes,
Dialga V-Star? Expensive V-Star power to use, but I can take another turn and...
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's nasty because oftentimes it's not even just Zoro who can attack. Your leader can also attack during this turn. So it just comes down to like, can your opponent handle 4 to 5 attacks in like the same turn? Okay. And a lot of times they can't. You haven't seen the One Piece anime, but Zoro has 3 swords, so it's kind of cool that he can attack 3 times.
I get it. So yeah, I'm gonna call this guy Dialga V-Star because
He's Dialga.
It's hard to pull off, but I mean, but if you get it going, that extra turn, trust me, I played a lot of Dialga with the Sarchalodon.
Oh, yeah.
So, sometimes you don't get it off every game, but when you get it off and you take that second turn, your opponent's just like, they're helpless. Like, what do I do? I can't do anything. So, Zoro's pretty good. All right.
He's probably one of my favorite characters in the anime. Are you ready for your last card, Gazer?
Let's see it. Bring it on.
Are you sure? Are you ready? Are you sure?
If it's not, as long as it's not Kaido and Linlin like part 2, it's fine.
Well, it's not Kaido and Linlin, but it is my good old friend Gecko Moria.
Okay.
So
I feel like I'm looking at Hades
cost.
from Hercules, but okay.
He does kind of look like my sibling. He is an 8-cost card, 9,000 power, and his on-play says you can choose up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less, and 1 character with a cost of 2 or less from your trash, which is the equivalent from your discard pile, and play one of them and play the other one rested. Just to kind of simplify it, basically you can get 2 characters with those costs from your discard pile and play it back onto the field.
Gecko Moria is black, correct?
He is a black card, yes.
Okay. What do black decks typically like to specialize in? What do they like to do?
So black likes to play around with the cost. So they'll minus costs from your opponent characters, and they'll play cards that'll be like KO a character with 2 cost. So black decks like to manipulate the numbers. It's really disgusting. I hate playing against like Rob Lucci and all those decks.
So what I'm hearing is you hate blacks.
No, that is not what I said, Gazer. That is not what I said.
I think that's what we're hearing right now. Sorry, I don't know.
I don't like playing against black colored leader decks.
Okay, I was gonna. I thought Atlantis was gonna have to. Oh boy. You play it, you can get back a character that's 4 and another character that's 2, and it can be 4 or less or 2 or less.
Yes.
Without knowing the rest of the power that black cards have, I'm pretty sure they have something pretty sneaky they could do. Yeah. It does cost 8 Dawn though.
It does.
Not much of an attacker, I'm sure, but I'm sure your black's not, don't attack a whole lot anyway, right?
They do, but they more so board clear. Like they'll get rid of your cards without attacking, which is really annoying. It's like I don't know how to deal with this.
So definitely not. I don't think he's a big attacker. I think Gecko Moria is more so of just a setup. Like you grab 2 cards to set up yourself and have a big combo play. 1 card goes into play, another goes rested, so the other one can't attack right away. But you can still apply the effects, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Gecko Moria. Oh, is there like a tween phase between mid and good?
On a scale of like 1 to 10, right? You're talking like maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, if 7, let's go with a 7. So yeah, let's right in between there.
Final answer. This card is broken.
Is it really?
So it is. So there's a lot of cards that like to remove themselves and put themselves in the discard pile or the trash, and you can just bring them back with Gecko Moria, and a lot of them are blockers. You can bring blockers back from the trash, and then there's also other cards that have on plays. You can play Gecko Moria, bring cards back from the discard pile that have on plays, and it's just a whole chain of effects. This card is a staple in most black decks. It's really nasty, and the fact that it has also 9,000 power, it's a pretty decent card to even swing with after you use its ability. So yeah, it's super duper powerful.
Yeah, I don't see it being a main attacker, is it? But I could see like after you clear a few things off board, then you can poke with a little bit, swing with a little bit. Yeah. Without context of everything that black can do, I was just like, okay, you grab a couple cards back and you do some some funny things. But how often are you gonna play 8 Dawn? You have to play 8 Dawn to play. That's it is a pretty pricey card, but the on play makes it really worth it. That is all of the One Piece cards I have for you today. What are your thoughts on the game, just based off of what I've showed you? So I still have no idea what's going on. Linlin is terrifying.
Yes.
Gecko Moria looks like a Disney villain.
Yeah, I haven't gone into that part of One Piece, but the first time I saw this card, I'm like, that's just Hades from Hercules, but purple.
Yeah. I could see how there's like a mechanic or like a archetype for everyone a little bit.
Yeah, it's so fun. I absolutely love this game. I've been going to locals a lot recently and been learning, and I think it's probably one of the better TCGs I have played. So, but nothing will be Pokemon. Pokemon will always be my #1 trading card game, but
no, you said what you said. It's fine. Poseidon, you said what you said. It's okay.
Before we end off, is there anybody you want to shout out? Anything you are doing? Anything that we should be looking forward to coming from you in the future?
Well, shout out to myself, first of all, Games of 2K. To my sponsor, Dark Side Games in Las Vegas, Nevada.
We love
Hit up
them.
the Dark Side. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're with them too. That's right.
I am.
Use the keyword, discount word, Poseidon 15, right?
Yes, Poseidon 15 for 15% off on your singles at checkout.
No, this was a blast. This was fun. I appreciate this. I hopefully, I did okay with this, and I get a call up another time.
Of course, I will definitely have you another time. You are my favorite content creator ever. So next time we'll do Pokemon art. I promise, Gazer.
You're gonna say that, and it's gonna turn around. It's gonna be like Star Wars TCG or something like that. I won't have any idea what's going on.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.